Hi, this is Derek Hodges of Anchor Point Wealth Management. This week's economic news for long-term investors includes strong reports on the U.S. employment situation, jobs, average hourly earnings, the cost of employment, and a surge of new orders entering company pipelines. The U.S. economy created 227,000 new jobs in January, and the unemployment rate sank to 4.8%. The unemployment rate is near a low last reached at the peak of the expansion of 2007. New job creation is likely to slow as full employment is approaching. Average hourly earnings data shows earnings have been accelerating. In the 8 years since the start of the last recession in 2008, average hourly earnings exhibited a 2.1% compound annual growth rate versus the 2.5% growth rate over the 12 months through the end of January 2017. Meanwhile, inflation declined slightly. Average hourly earnings after inflation did not grow for about 5 years after the Great Recession, but has soared in the past couple of years. Talking heads are on TV all the time saying Americans have not had a pay increase in years and that wages are stagnant, but they are using alternative facts that just don't match with reality. The U.S. government last week reported that employee compensation grew 3.6% in the 12 months through the end of January. Employee compensation is the most important of 5 factors affecting personal income growth. Employee compensation accounts for about 70% of personal income growth. Personal income growth drives consumer spending, and consumer spending accounts for 70% of the gross domestic economy. So the 3.6% growth in employee compensation triggers a chain of good events. In the last economic expansion, employee compensation had a peak growth rate of 3%. The 3.6% growth in the 12 months through the end of January is fuel for continued acceleration of the economy, and this expansion is not based on bad loans that can't be repaid. Meanwhile, in an unexpected twist that did not make it into the consumer financial press, the cost of employees to businesses declined slightly. While employee compensation rose sharply, the cost of employees to businesses declined because of gains in productivity. That's really good. The final piece of noteworthy news for investors this past week comes from the Institute of Supply Management, a private business association. Both of these indexes are early warning indicators. They traditionally collapse months in advance of a recession. Nothing like that is happening. Both the manufacturing and non-manufacturing indexes are made up of 10 sub-indexes, and the most forward-looking of the 10 measures new orders coming into large companies. New orders are strong across the board. Manufacturing accounts for about 10% of jobs in the U.S. and 14% of gross domestic product. Non-manufacturing accounts for 90% of U.S. jobs and 86% of the economic activity in the U.S., according to federal government data, so it's more influential. New orders in the manufacturing sector came in at 60.4%. That's strong. Meanwhile, in the non-manufacturing sector, new orders dipped slightly but remained strong at 58.6%. The pipeline of new business making its way into the economy in January was strong, which also bodes well for the economy in the weeks ahead. The Standard & Poor's 500 Index, which measures the value of America's largest publicly held companies and reflects how confident investors are in the future of the American economy, has been flirting with its all-time high. Nevertheless, despite the bright outlook for the U.S., and even as the global economy exhibits strength for the first time in a decade, investor sentiment could change at any time. Political, social, and other turmoil, the next new crisis, could shake confidence and suddenly send in some investors to the sidelines. A correction of 10% or 15% or even a bear market could occur, even during a period of economic expansion. With fake news and alternative facts flourishing, we are an independent, authoritative source of news affecting your wealth over the long run. Please give us your feedback and share our timely weekly reports with your family and friends. Please contact us with any questions or to set up a meeting, and don't hesitate to share this video with people who might benefit from our work. Also, Make sure to like the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel.